Hi, my name is Kayla Daniels. My speech is called The Leap That Changed Everything for Me, and these are my audience members. Sorry. For almost 2 years, I worked at Chipotle. It was loud, fast, and smelled like fajitas and rice every day, but I loved it. I knew everyone, I knew the routine, and my coworkers felt like family to me. We joke around during rushes, share food when we could, and somehow made chaos fun. It wasn't just a job, it was a comfort zone. But deep down, I wanted more. I wanted to start my career in healthcare, to do something that actually mattered. So when I got hired as a nursing assistant at Kessler Rehab, I was excited and honestly terrified. Leaving Chipotle meant leaving behind people I loved and a job I was good at. But I told myself if I wanted to grow, I can't stay comfortable forever. My first week at Kessler was nothing like I expected. Everyone around me looked so confident, like they've been doing this forever, and I felt completely out of place. I didn't know where anything was, how to move fast like the others. So I tried to stay calm, but inside I kept thinking, do I even belong here? Then came my first real challenge, doing an EKG. I'd watched one before in training, but doing it on my own felt terrifying. My hands were shaking while I tried to remember where to place each lead. I kept second-guessing myself the whole time, and when I finished, I smiled like everything was fine, but deep down, I felt like an imposter in scrubs. The days were long. At Chipotle, time flew by with music and conversations, but at Kessler, 12-hour shifts are endless. My feet hurt, my back hurt, and I was constantly running around trying not to mess up. And then there's the bodily fluids. Something I was definitely not used to, and something I definitely thought I would never get used to. The first time I had to clean up after a patient, I wanted to gag. Sometimes I did gag. I remember standing there, gloves on, trying to breathe through my nose, but thinking, this is so different from rolling burritos. But the longer I worked, the more I realized that those little tasks, the uncomfortable, gross ones, actually mattered. I was helping someone feel clean, safe, and cared for. And that slowly started to mean more to me than how uncomfortable it felt. And eventually, I got used to it. One day, a patient I've been helping looked up at me and said, "You're really good at this. You make people feel comfortable." And it stopped me right in my tracks because I didn't feel good at it. I still felt unsure most of the time, but that compliment changed how I saw myself. She also left me a little note and a gift. I realized maybe I didn't have to be perfect to make a difference. That was the moment everything shifted. When I stopped seeing myself as the girl from Chipotle, the cashier, the line worker, and started seeing myself as a real healthcare worker. That experience taught me that growth never feels easy. You can't expect confidence on day one. You build it by showing up, even when you're scared or uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to walk straight into the things that make you nervous to discover how capable you really are. And leaving Chipotle was one of the hardest things that I've done. But it pushed me to grow into someone more stronger, more patient, and a lot more confident. Now when I walk into Kessler, I remember how unsure I used to feel. And I remember how far I've come. And I know how to use the EKG machine. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that being uncomfortable doesn't mean that you're failing. It means you're becoming the person that you're meant to be. So I encourage everyone to take that leap.